Hi friends, welcome back to Mama Jan's channel. So the other day, I went on Facebook to see what fun other people are having while I'm hiding in the bathroom away from my three boys. I came across an explosion of posts from my friends from Hong Kong, and they were showing off how they were enjoying the Chinese New Year and the fun they were having and the trips they're taking. And then I started to get really nostalgic. I started thinking about all the great people I met in Hong Kong and how much I miss them. And guess what, guys? You know who I miss the most? Of all the beautiful and kind people I've met in Hong Kong? Yup, that's right. It's my helper Leia. I mean, come on. Who would miss the person who cooked and cleaned for them? I mean, ladies, she even looked after my children while I went out for a manicure or massage. To be fair though, she was my one and only full-time helper. We lived together for 4 years and yeah, we had our ups and downs, but generally it was a pretty good symbiotic relationship. And believe me, guys, I shed a few tears when I had to leave her behind in Hong Kong. So I have to stop thinking about the past and move on. So here I am in Canada, and I don't know if I'm lucky or unlucky, but I got myself a new helper. Okay, he's not the worst, but he's definitely not as good as Leia. He is moody, he doesn't cook, he barely cleans, and he gives my children copious amounts of TV when I'm not around. To protect his identity, I'm not going to reveal his full name. I'll just show you a blurry picture of him. Yup, so as you could probably see, my standards have dropped significantly. And you know what the worst part is? He talks back and I can't fire him. This went on for several months. And one night, while I was hiding in the bathroom again, I thought, enough of this. I am going to take my destiny into my own hands and just help myself. So I grabbed my little laptop, I start typing in appliances that could help run a household or machines that would make your life easier. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say I found 5 items that has significantly helped me and Beaches' life. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is a good, gigantic washer and dryer. Okay, listen. When we lived in Hong Kong, we had one of those stacked up dry and washers because we had no space, right? So this thing runs from morning to night, okay? Because I have 2 kids under 4 and we have copious amounts of laundry everywhere. So that fact does not change when you move to Canada. But the good thing is we now have a garage and more space. And I know this purchase is probably more for people, moving to another country or another house. But on your next home improvement, you may want to consider it. So now we can do what took us 4 loads of laundry at one go, okay? So my house is no longer littered with laundry because you know what? You do a load a day and that's plenty to go around. Now, here comes the second item. My second recommendation is a Dyson. And oh, I don't mean any old Dyson. I mean the animal. And that thing freaking is like an animal. It swoops, it cleans. It even has that little attachment where you can hoover up all the nasty crumbs your kids leave behind on the high chairs or whatnot. And you know what? We actually have one of those massive Dysons that would barely pull out except when company's coming over and we really need to do a deep clean. The animal freaking is so light, it charges up in, I don't know, half an hour, and you just keep it charging all day long and you just hoover whenever you need. It is by far better than BH and his crappy cleaning jobs, okay? So, the third item I'm going to talk about, it's a bit of a controversial item. So, here's the backstory. When I found out that I was moving back to Canada and that I had to cook and clean and look after my own children, I cried to my friend Kelly and I was like, Kelly, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna even have a life? And she goes, Janet, don't worry. And Kelly is a very resourceful person, okay? She says, I just talked to my friend who moved back to Australia and asked her, what are some things you found that were really helpful now that you don't have a helper? And her friend told her, you need to buy a Thermomix. I was like, what? The machine that costs like 2,000 Canadian dollars? And she goes, yeah, but you know what? It's worth every penny. This thing's sautés, cooks, blends. I mean, in the morning, I throw some oats in there and my oatmeal is done in 10 minutes while I get the boys ready. At lunch, I spend maybe 10 minutes, chopping some ingredients, throwing it into the Thermomix and go do whatever I have to do. 20 minutes later, a vegetable soup comes out. I mean, this thing is the bomb. And, okay, the way my financial advisor told me, aka BH, he averaged out, the warranty is for 2 years, and he averaged out the cost per day for 2 years. And because, if something breaks, they'll replace it, whatever. So the machine is solid for 2 years at least, right? So if we break down the cost of the machine over the course of 2 years, each day costs us about $3, okay? So yeah, I pay $3, which, heck, it's even cheaper than a Starbucks coffee for something that saves me at least half an hour of cooking time a day, okay? And half an hour of time to play with my kids, yeah, it's worth my $3 a day. So that was the best thing I bought this year. And I mean better than any luxury bag or any fabulous meals I've had, okay? So the third item comes again from Kelly's advice. So the other thing her friend really recommended was a slow cooker. But I got something even better than that. I got myself an Instant Pot. Yep, if you have not heard of an Instant Pot, get on the internet and start finding out about it because it is amazing. Guys, amazing. It can steam, it can act as a slow cooker, but best of all, it is a self-contained pressure cooker. So I dump my ingredients in like I would for slow cooker, and I can make a stew or soup in about an hour, which would take me about 6 or 10 hours in a slow cooker. And you know what, best of all? It's even got a built-in timer. So let's say we eat at 6:30, and I know the stew is gonna take about 90 minutes to finish. I can just adjust the timer to start cooking at 5 o'clock. And my food will be ready, piping hot at 6:30. I know, it's a genius machine. And for this one, I think it retails, we got the big one, so I think it retails for about 200 Canadian, but you can shop at Boxing Day or the sales, and a lot of times you can probably get one for under $150 including tax. So, what do you do with all that food you've made? Well, the 5th item you should get is a chest freezer. Yeah, I don't mean the little freezer that's attached to your fridge. I mean those massive chest freezers that you can freeze the leftover lasagna that you got from your mom, the big massive bags of ready-made food from Costco, frozen fruits. I mean, my freezer downstairs is jam-packed with goodies, okay? So the days that I don't even have the half an hour to toss things into the Thermomix or the Instant Pot, I just grab some hash browns from the freezer or some wontons from Costco that takes like 7 minutes to heat up. And voila, dinner's done, and chop a few cucumbers, and that's got, you know, all your foods from a pyramid right there, okay? So definitely invest in a freezer. So I really hope that this video has been helpful for all of you thinking of moving back home without a helper, or even people who are just looking for some tested and true appliances that can help you around the household. And Hong Kong friends, appreciate your helper. Just think, this could be your destiny.